If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me to ease my pain? If you needed me, I would come to you. I'd swim the seas to ease your pain.
Morning, everybody. We're back with our immigration vlog, also known as the Welcome Home Project. And today we are going to be continuing our look into your questions that might be helpful for you to understand with your patients. So let's take a look at one of the questions you're asking. And I think we've got a tea party over here waiting for us to help us answer your questions today. So we'll get back to you in just a second.
Hi, I'm Kat. I am a psychologist at Lynn Community Health Center, and my question is about the U visa. I'm curious about what the U visa is and who would be a good applicant for a U visa and a good referral.
Here is my oldest daughter, Yuvia, who has graciously allowed us to come and join her for a immigration status tea party. Would you like to say hello, Yuvia?
Hi.
She's very busy feeding her her snowy white owl, Sarah. So today we have many guests to come to our immigration tea party. It's going to get a little crowded and confusing, but don't worry, bear with us and we will get through it. So first we have a family who is a family of little mice, and these are a family of citizens. So this is a mama. This is another mama who's married to the first mama. And this is our big sister. So we've got mama, who was born to, her parents are US citizens, but she was born overseas at a military base, but she still gets citizenship by birth. This mama met the first mama when they were studying in Argentina, and she has now obtained citizenship because of her marriage with her wife. And then big sister was born in the US to her parents, and that is why she gets citizenship. So they are our citizen family. We also have two kitty cats who are permanent residents or applying for permanent residency. Now, there's several different ways you can apply to permanent residency, but these two applied, one through work, and the other applied because her daughter turned 21 and was a citizen, so she applied for her. So these two kitty cats are applying for something called LPR status, legal permanent residency, or a green card. It's all the same thing, and that's what they're doing. Now, over here we have a mama puppy. And this mama has been through a very difficult time. She was not very safe in her home country, so she brought two of her babies with her, and they came to the US border, and they told the immigration agents when they got here that she was very afraid to go back home, and she was going to apply for asylum. So she was allowed to come into the country, apply for asylum, and because she's a mama, she's going to include all three of her children, even though her other little baby was in their home country until she was granted her asylum. Everybody was allowed to come under one asylum application. And in this case, this family has asylum now, but very soon they will be allowed to apply for permanent residency, just like these kitty cats, through their asylum case. Now we also have little Bunny, who went through a very difficult time as well in her home country. But she applied for something called refugee status from her home country in Nigeria. And she was granted her refugee status prior to coming to the US. So she's in a similar boat, but a different boat than her asylum sisters. Now, we have also got some people who come just for fun or for business. and they have tourist visas or business visas. And they don't stay, they don't get benefits, they aren't eligible for residency. They're just here to do business or to come and visit family members or enjoy the sights of the country. And then we also have Gorilla, who came as a very young, as a juvenile. So he was about 15, and in his home country, his parents weren't around to take care of him, and he didn't get treated very well. So he came, and he's going to get something called Special Immigrant Juvenile Visa status. We also have little Flying Squirrel, who in their home country, and then here they were something called trafficked, and that means that she will coordinate with the authorities, and she will get something called a T visa. This little owl was in the US. She didn't have documentation status, but she was the victim of a crime. Something very not so great happened to her, and she's cooperating with the police, so she is eligible for something called a U visa. Now, these 3 visas are something that are visas, but they will at some point be eligible if the recipients are not getting into trouble in the US. They will be eligible to apply for their permanent residency status, just like these kitty cats here, in a few years. One last status that I want to talk about is Sarah. Sarah is our snowy owl, and Sarah has a little bit of a complicated status because she was married to George. George is a citizen. Sarah, that means that Sarah is eligible for residency or her green card. But George isn't a very nice dog, and he did not allow her to qualify for or to apply. So what Sarah did is she got connected to one of our lovely organizations, and she's applying on her own, called a self-petitioner, VAWA self-petitioner. That's a Violence Against Women Act self-petitioner. So she is going to end up being able to have her status regardless of what George decides to do. Now, all of these people are considered to be documented. And as you can see, it has become quite a difficult and complicated tea party here of immigration statuses. And you might wonder to yourself, well, now who of all of these people is going to be required to have a public charge assessment? Well, Sarah won't, because she's applying through VAWA self-petitioner. George doesn't, because he's already a citizen. Neither of these kitty cats will, because actually they have their residency and they might be applying for citizenship. And when you apply for citizenship, you don't qualify. We're going to put these kitties over here. Our Special Immigrant Juvenile, our U visa, our T visa, none of our special applicants will qualify or need to have a public charge assessment. And certainly our refugees and our asylum applicants don't need to worry either. Our citizens don't have to worry because they're already citizens, right? And our tourists and business folks, they don't actually qualify for benefits anyway because they aren't residents, so they don't actually have to worry either. So it's really just the people who are applying for their green card, and they are through family-based or employment-based. So something similar to the 2 kitty cats. 2 kitty cats, when they got their status, they probably did have a public charge assessment, but they're pretty much the only ones at the table. So this is all the documented statuses that a person might have. Now, how does a person get undocumented? Well, they might be on their tourist visa or their business visa, and they might stay longer than they're allowed to. That means they're out of status and now they are undocumented. It might happen that the little puppy and her family apply for their asylum, but they are denied and they stay anyway in the country. They would become undocumented as a result of not getting their asylum status. This little puppy came to the border, and instead of stopping at the agent to ask for asylum or to show any kind of documentation status, this little puppy crossed the border on his own. And that makes this little puppy undocumented in the US as well. So, overstaying a tourist visa, crossing the border without permission, applying for a status and then being denied but staying on in the country, those are pretty much the ways that people become undocumented. I hope that this doesn't confuse you more. It's super helpful to have these understandings for when we talk to our patients, because our patients are just as confused as we are. So, Yuvia, you want to wish everybody a good week?
I hope you have a great week.
Me too. Take care. We'll see you next time.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seed to change a life from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.